The hallways of Forrester Creations and the dimly lit backroom of Il Giardino have become the unlikely epicenters of emotional earthquakes on the bold and the beautiful. In a gripping parallel of interventions, two characters operating from starkly different moral compasses, Steffy Forrester and Deacon Sharp, delivered pivotal ultimatums that could reshape multiple relationships. Steffy's fiery warning to Carter Walton and Deacon's surprisingly tender urging for Taylor Hayes to confess her feelings have set a powder keg of pent-up desires and hidden truths, promising a cascade of drama that threatens the fragile stability of the Forrester, Logan, and Hayes families. Steffy Forrester's return to Los Angeles has been marked not by a retreat into her own complex life, but by a vigilant, almost ferocious, protection of her family's ecosystem. Having weathered countless storms involving her parents, Ridge and Taylor, Steffy views any threat to their hard-won peace as a direct assault. Her radar, finely tuned to the subtlest discord, pinged loudly at the growing closeness between her mother, Taylor, and the recently unshackled Carter Walton. Confronting Carter in his office, Steffy was a vision of stern authority. This was not the impulsive Steffy of old, but a matriarch in the making, her words measured yet laced with steel. "Carter, you're a good man," she began, a preamble that instantly signaled the gravity of what followed. "But I need you to stay away from my mother." The warning was clear, but Steffy delved deeper, articulating the unspoken fears. She reminded Carter of the Forrester curse, of complicated entanglements, of how he had just escaped the torment of being a pawn between Quinn and Eric. "My parents are in a good place," Steffy insisted, her voice firm. "After everything they've been through, after all the back and forth, they deserve this peace. Whatever this friendship is with my mom, it can't go any further. I'm telling you, as someone who cares about you both, step back. Before hearts get broken, and before you find yourself in the middle of a war you didn't start." This was more than a sisterly chat, it was a geopolitical boundary drawing. Steffy framed the potential Carter-Taylor dynamic not as a simple romance, but as an existential threat to the tentative détente between Ridge and Taylor, and by extension, the broader family harmony. Her warning to Carter was a preemptive strike, designed to protect her mother from potential heartbreak and to shield her father from a rival who, in Steffy's eyes, could never be a suitable match for the legendary Dr. Hayes. The subtext was brutal in its clarity. "You are not of this world, Carter. Do not disrupt it." Carter's reaction was a masterclass in conflicted dignity. He listened, his expression a mask of respectful solemnity, but his eyes betrayed a flicker of defensiveness, and perhaps hurt. He has endured being the honorable one for so long, the loyal COO, the shoulder to cry on, the man who steps aside. In Taylor, he may have found someone who sees him not as a fixture of Forrester Creations, but as a man, flawed, yearning, and capable of deep passion. Steffy's warning, while well-intentioned, may have the opposite effect. It forces Carter to confront a critical question. Is his connection with Taylor merely a comforting friendship, or is it the spark of something profound he has been denied? By framing him as an interloper, Steffy may inadvertently solidify his feelings, transforming a gentle attraction into a forbidden cause. Carter now stands at a precipice. He can heed Steffy's warning and retreat into his role of the perpetual gentleman, or he can defy the decree and pursue what might be his last, best chance at a love that is entirely his own. The pressure from the Forrester heir only adds weight to a decision he must make for himself. Meanwhile, in a starkly different setting, Deacon Sharp played an unexpected role: the romantic sage. His bond with Taylor, forged in their shared history of redemption and their co-parenting of hope, has given him a unique window into her soul. Over a quiet drink at Il Giardino, Deacon observed the same lightness in Taylor that Steffy feared, but where Steffy saw danger, Deacon saw opportunity for genuine happiness. "Taylor, I've known you a long time," Deacon said, his usual scheming demeanor softened into one of genuine concern. "I see the way you talk about Carter, the way your whole aura changes. You've spent your entire life being the rock, the healer, the one who picks up the pieces for everyone else, especially for Ridge." He leaned in, his voice dropping to a conspiratorial but kind whisper. "When is it Taylor's turn? You can't spend the rest of your life waiting for a door that keeps swinging open and shut. Life's too short, Tay. If you have feelings for Carter, real feelings, you owe it to yourself to explore them. To confess them, to him and to yourself. Before the moment, and the man, slips away." This advice, coming from Deacon of all people, carries profound weight. He is a man who has lost everything due to lies and mischances. His plea is not about causing chaos, but about seizing a rare, honest shot at joy. He recognizes in Taylor a kindred spirit, someone who has walked a long road back to self-respect, and he refuses to watch her subjugate her heart on the altar of what might have been with Ridge. Deacon is urging Taylor to break the cycle of longing and choose a path defined by her own desires, not by the shadow of her past. Caught in the crossfire of these diametrically opposed counsels is Taylor, the brilliant psychiatrist ironically unable to diagnose her own heart. Steffy's warning appeals to her deepest instincts as a mother and her lingering, complex love for Ridge, the epic love story that has defined her adult life. The idea of disrupting her family's peace, of causing Steffy distress, and of potentially alienating Ridge forever is a terrifying prospect. Yet, Deacon's words resonate with the part of Taylor she has spent years rebuilding. The independent woman, the survivor. Carter represents something new, a relationship untainted by decades of betrayal and competition. It is a chance to be chosen first, to be in a partnership without the ghost of Brooke Logan looming in every corner. Deacon is offering her permission to be selfish, a concept foreign to the self-sacrificing Taylor. Her conflict is the central drama. Does she prioritize her family's stability and the legendary, if torturous, bond with Ridge? Or does she finally prioritize Taylor and reach for a happiness that is simpler, more respectful, and genuinely hers? Every moment she spends with Carter now will be filtered through the lens of Steffy's fear and Deacon's encouragement. The trajectories set by these two conversations are on a direct collision course. Steffy's attempt to quarantine the situation may only hasten its exposure. If Carter, emboldened by his own reflections or a nudge from Taylor, decides to act, Steffy will see it as a direct betrayal, potentially fracturing her relationship with Carter and placing her in an adversarial position with her own mother. Furthermore, if Taylor confesses her feelings as Deacon advises, it will not occur in a vacuum. Ridge, ever possessive of the women in his life, will be forced to confront the reality that Taylor may have truly moved on, and not with a rival like Bill Spencer, but with his own trusted employee. This could trigger a catastrophic response, throwing Forrester Creations into turmoil and reigniting the old Forrester Hayes-Logan wars on an entirely new battlefield. The genius of this storyline lies in its moral ambiguity. Steffy is not wrong to protect her family. Deacon is not wrong to champion Taylor's happiness. Carter is not wrong for seeking love. Taylor is not wrong for being torn. It is a perfect storm of right intentions destined to create disastrously beautiful drama. In the end, these warnings and urgings are not just about controlling outcomes. They are about the fundamental human struggle between duty and desire, between the safety of the past and the terrifying promise of a new future. As the walls these characters have built around their hearts begin to crumble under the weight of unspoken truth, the bold and the beautiful reminds us that the most powerful force in Los Angeles is not a corporate takeover or a fashion showdown, but the raw, uncontrollable, and devastating power of the human heart daring to confess what it truly wants.